Welcome to another episode of Life Between the Young I. I'm your host Sid, and I'm back here to educate you young people, middle-aged people, older people, all people about this topic today, as I do others in the past. But I hope you guys are having a great day. Having a great morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is for you. I'm just hoping that you're staying positive. You're doing your best every day, and you're just waking up being thankful. So that's really all that matters. But today we're gonna get a little into as you read by the title, why is fashion so important among the youth, especially for the past let's say 15, 20 years. I mean, just from the beginning of time, fashion has just been important in just identity and how people put themselves out into the world just in general. But over time, I mean, fashion has just changed dramatically and tremendously. It's kind of hard to keep up with, especially with these young kids trying to do whatever. I'm talking like I'm not a young kid. I'm young. I'm a young kid myself, but I have a little experience. Okay, I have a little experience when it comes to fashion and things of that nature. But I guess one of the things I've dealt with when it comes to fashion, why I think it's so important. Um, I mean, one is body image, right? And I feel like I don't want to be sexist. I'm not being sexist, but it's true from at least from my point of view. I feel like women, teenage girls, what do you want to call it, are more affected by this issue because they're more insecure. From what I've seen, my point of view, my personal point of view, I've seen that women tend to be more uh, insecure about how they look or how they dress, especially when it comes to pleasing the opposite gender or even the same gender. And they look at these models and Kardashians and other uh, women that perceives to be a quote unquote 10, and they're like, hey, I want to be that too. I want to dress like them. I want to have the attention that they have. I want to have the I guess quote unquote clout that they have. So they tend to dress like them, right? Just to build that self esteem and boost their ego. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that, right? But there's a difference between dressing for you and there's a difference between dressing for others. And I feel like that's where women, most women, not all women, majority of women tend to fall in. They don't dress for themselves, right? They're dressing to please others. And I feel like I could say that for both genders, but like I said, majority is more of for my, like I said, my personal point of view, more of a woman thing. And correct me if I'm wrong. I'm here to listen. I can take constructive criticism, so you can bash me in the comments or give me your feedback or whatnot. I'm cool with that. That's just, you know, these are just opinions, right? And I feel like that's body image can play both parts when it comes to gender. And peer pressure, right? I mean, I've been peer pressure myself, especially in school, right? I grew up very poor, so I wasn't able. My mom wasn't able to always buy me the latest fashion clothes or shoes or hats or hoodies or backpacks and things of that nature. So I just had to wear what she could afford. You know what I mean? And in my eyes, now that when I was younger, I didn't think this is cool, right? I was like, oh, this is trash, man. I'm going to get roasted, which I did. But now that I look back on it, I'm like, oh, I understand why. You know what I mean? As a kid, you don't really understand what you're going through till you grow up and realize, oh, dang, the fact that I did have clothes, right? Because I could have went naked. I mean, not literally. You get the point. It's a figure of speech, but yeah, man, peer pressure for played a majority of it, and I would save money here and there to try to fit in with the crowd. I remember one time, it was seventh grade, 13 years young. Uh, I think the weekend before, my mom took me to Payless. For those of you that don't, hello, it's my, huh? I think my headset just died, but I think you guys can still hear me though. Yeah, you guys can still hear me. But anyway, Um, as I was saying, like I said, my mom took me to Payless. For those of you that don't know who Pay what, blah, blah, blah. For those of you that don't know what Payless is, it's basically a shoe store, an affordable shoe store. I would say. I don't know if they're still around. Maybe they are. Anyway, so I went there. She got me some FUBUs. No, it was Walmart. I went to Walmart. There were some FUBUs, right? And they look FUBUs. They they almost look like Jordans, right? Like the off-brand Jordans, you can call them. Um, but anyway, yeah, she got me some Jordans. I'm like, oh man, I'm about to be fresh. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they weren't the real Jordans, and I'm okay with that. I mean, at the time we didn't have two, $300, $400 to throw on a pair of shoes, man. We had to pay rent. Anyway, so I got the FUBUs, right? So I'm thinking I'm looking fresh. I got my outfit laid out, everything for that Monday morning. For that Monday morning, I was hyped, man. Let me tell you, I was feeling myself so much, man. I didn't even want to bring my book bag. I was about to be a fashionista. Anyway, get to school. Get off the school bus, whatnot. Everything's chill. Everything's cool, right? So as I'm walking down the hallway, go to my classroom, I see everybody staring at me. I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. They stand, they see me, they see me. And I hear one kid, he's like, oh, snap, Sydney got the new Jordans. I'm like, now should I deny this or should I just roll with it? Because technically I'm not lying because I'm not denying it, nor I'm saying it I do. I'm just letting him believe what he thinks I have on. So I'm like, smiling in the back. But mind you, I was wearing khaki pants and they weren't very long. So the khaki pants, they came up a little bit. Everybody saw the logo. As soon as they saw that logo, roasted. Boy, I got the FUBUs on. To this day, man. It really hurt. I'm laughing right now. That shit hurt, man. It hurt. But it's good though. It was all good. And I put myself in that position just because of peer pressure, right? Just because I wanted to fit in, just because I want to be want to be amongst the crowd. But obviously as you realize when you get older, you kind of fall into your own pattern. You don't really care what others think. Your brain kind of matures a little bit, and you just start to think, why did I care so much about what this person says about the way I look? Because at the end of the day, I haven't seen them since. Seventh grade was at 2015. That's 8 years ago. Almost 9 years. We're almost in 2024. I haven't seen them since. So it's like it's pointless to care about that. You know what I mean? It's just a waste of time. But yeah, peer pressure can be like it can get to you, man. It really can. Celebrities play. Man, the stories I have about that. Celebrities plays a huge part uh into fashion with these young people because we idolize them. And I'm not gonna lie, say I don't, because I still do to this day. I mean, not as much. I don't worship them. You know what I mean? Like, not freak, but idolize them. Like, oh, that looks cool, or like, hey, I could rock it, but I could rock it maybe a little different. That fits my style. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, we definitely look up to them for fashion inspiration. I guess like an example, personally, my favorite actor, or I guess role model inspiration, I guess you could say, is The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. If you don't know who he is, you have been living under a rock. See what I did there? No, okay. So like, yeah, I mean, I've grown up, and he's more of like a fitness guy, so he always wears like athletic, attire, and that was majority of what I wore during high school and middle school, I could say, because of him. And I was like, oh, it looks cool on him. It could look cool on me because I'm a pretty buff guy. He's buff. I mean, obviously he's buffer than me, but I'm a pretty buff guy. I'm like, you know, 5'11", 215, so pretty solid. And so I was like, they fit pretty well, and I got a lot of compliments for it. Um, but and I still wear athletic clothing to this day. But celebrities can really change your life for the good and bad. Don't get me wrong. There's pros and cons to everything for the good and bad. But like I said earlier, when it comes to celebrities and fashion models, women, on the other hand, they tend to like, even especially young women like under 18 in this generation, they tend to dress a little provocative for their age. And I can't do anything about it. It's not my kid, right? It's not my daughter. Um, but at some point, you got to show a little self respect. You know, the parents do too. It's obviously it's majority from the parents' household, right? But that's another topic for another day. We're gonna focus on clothing today in this episode. Okay, we're gonna focus on clothing, and that's it. But yeah, man. These the women these days, they reassurance. They need reassurance. I'm not even gonna lie. They need some reassurance, but it is what it is. I can't do anything about it. But yeah, man. Even hairstyles. We see a certain way. Miley Cyrus, right? Michael B. Jordan, Future, Young Thug. I think he's still locked up. Anyway, yeah. So we see these Kodak Black, for instance. Man, as soon as Kodak Black got that little, um, I don't know what you call him, man. Maybe it's a Floridian thing or like a South Floridian thing, but like the little, I don't know what you call them. They're like long little dookie booms. They come at your head. They got like they all look. They're like spikes, but they're like rounded spikes. It's kind of hard. Just look it up. Look up like a recent picture of Kodak's hairstyle. I mean, he doesn't have it anymore, but I've seen a lot of dudes wear that. Me personally, would I do that? No, not even to save my life. Like, no, that wouldn't even look right with me, man. But hey, it's what is quote unquote fashion today. In 20 years from now, it'll be different. The next 20 years, it'll be different, and so on and so on and so on. Like I said, fashion is just it goes, it comes and goes. You got to stay up with it. I take that back. You don't have to stay up with it, right? Um, I'm not saying you have to buy the latest everything because that's just pointless, right? But I do feel, is that something? I feel like I hear something. No, okay, maybe that's just me. But I'm not. Yeah, like I said, I'm not saying that you have to stay up with the latest trends, right? And I'm not saying you have to buy clothes that celebrities do. I mean, if there's a difference between us and them, both of them are like rich, and we cannot afford that, right? So don't go broke trying to look like Denzel or SZA or Drake. I'm not saying they're bad people, but you got to get your priorities straight too. You can dress like them, but don't go broke trying to be like them or look like them. That's all. Um, and identity. Identity. I brought it up before. Identity is a crucial part as to why fashion is so important because the clothes that we wear, it shows who we are. It embraces our inner self. It connects us to other people who are like us in this society, and it builds confidence. It builds reassurance. It builds security. It builds comfort. It's like a shield, right, to protect us in a sense, and it's uplifting. And I, for myself, I've changed my fashions. My closet has been changing ever since I graduated, and I haven't graduated that long ago. It's only been 2 years, but what I wear, man, it's I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain. I mean, you guys know what I'm talking about, man. It's just like when you put on something, you just feel like a new person. You feel different. You feel invincible. You feel like nothing can stop me. I can attack anything. It's kind of like a motivator in a way, because self care is the best care in a way. And I feel like clothes can just do that. Maybe it's just me, Maybe I only feel that way. Maybe you guys feel that way. I hope you, no, I hope you would, but you know, it's just so impactful. You just have that type of independence, right? Because man, look, I'm just getting warped up about it already. But let me just calm down. But you get the point. I, it can play a crucial part in your identity. Okay, it has for me, and I'm pretty sure it has for you guys. And even when I was a kid, we're gonna switch up to the next reason. Um, rebellion, rebellion. We all know young people, teenagers are rebellious, and it's only going to get worse. And during that time, we would do things even though our parents say don't do it. And that's why we do it, because they say don't do it. You telling me not to do something, I'm going to do it. I don't care what you say, even when it comes to fashion. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that feels like that. Parents, you can agree with this. If you have kids, you know. Especially like when it comes to women, maybe we're gonna start off with women first, right? Let's just say a girl's going to school, right, and she's wearing makeup and a dress that's maybe a little bit too high, maybe a little bit above her knees. And she's wearing like a sleeveless shirt, and then parents will think, "Oh, why are you trying to look like a hooker? Are you trying to look like a stripper?" Right? And maybe in that girl's eyes, maybe she doesn't look like that. Maybe that's how she expresses herself. But then the parents like, "Oh, you shouldn't wear that. Don't do that." Right? They're still going to do it just because you said not to. It's kind of like reverse psychology. You telling somebody not to do it. That's just humans in general. Of telling them not to do something, they will do it. Especially teenagers. I would know. I was a teenager like 2 years ago. I still do it to this day. Actually, I just did it today. but but yeah, man, and we do it to piss you guys off. I'm not even gonna lie. That's a little secret. I'm sorry to expose us, but we genuinely do it to piss you guys off. And I'm not gonna say that's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna expose myself because my family might be listening to this. And if they are, I apologize. But you raised me to tell the truth, and so I am. I mean, we don't do it just to piss you off. We do it because we want to do it, and plus we like wearing, what it is. But I feel like that's more of a woman issue, a girl issue versus a guy issue. I mean, there's both issues, but I feel like it's more of a parent telling their girls not to wear certain things versus a guy that have more slack of what they can wear. You know what I mean? It's not, how do I say this? Um, what's the word I'm looking for? Firm. A parent is not as firm with the guy and how they dress versus a woman, because women go through different struggles than men would go through different struggles on a daily basis, right? They're different. So, and which is, and I know the parents mean well, but we're still gonna dress how we dress, and that's just how it is, man. But yeah, man. That's why I feel fashion is so important, man. I mean, it's important for everybody, and I feel like you should. At the end of the day, I feel like you should dress for yourself. Be yourself. Don't try to fit in or be somebody else. I'm not saying that you can't, stay up with the trends, right? But don't lose yourself while doing that. Don't become someone you're not, and you're looking in the mirror like, who am I? Right? That is the last thing that you would want, because you're going to have identity issues. And that's going to lead to more problems mentally, emotionally, even physically. So just just be you. No matter what. Um, but yeah, man. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and if you did, let me know. And if I should do more episodes related to this topic, or kind of like in the same criteria, just definitely, like I said, let me know. But and as always, you know what to do. Remember to stay humble, to stay hopeful, and and if I don't hear from you guys, or if I don't upload again this year, because today it is, right now it is December 9th. So we're like, what, 3 weeks to the new year. So if I don't upload again, I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Spend time with your friends and family. And just be grateful for one another because you never know when your time is coming. But yeah, you get the point. Okay, peace out. Goodbye.